Hi everyone, I want to talk about the PoJ Tempest monk in Season 24. With the ethereals they get quite a big bonus, much more than most other builds, and this actually makes them really strong. I know that the big hype is the inner monk, I also love that build, but PoJ is kind of like a staple that has been introduced in Season 19 and has been kind of the defining monk build ever since, and I don't believe it's gonna really go anywhere anyway. A lot of people enjoy this kind of playstyle and I also like the build, especially when you push and when you farm this in like the right pace. Yeah, the satisfying explosions from the flurry rune are really amazing. So what I've tried here is I used a flying dragon, a two-handed weapon on my one-handed ethereal, because they can roll two-handed powers, and this allows you to get some really big explosions in some cases because you don't have a kind of useless weapon in your offhand. Well, in speedruns you could run with Echoing Fury, which is kind of nice because you kind of keep it up at the right tiers at least. But Flying Dragon with the extra attack speed can proc when you don't kill anything and gives you even more damage than the Echoing Fury. So the potential goes up quite a bit, especially for pushing. You get so much out of this because you get some insane nukes sometimes. Doubling your attack speed means doubling your damage in this build, and if that happens in the right moment, you get a flying dragon block, you just obliterate. And I think this build gets something like 8 or 9 tiers from the ethereals next season. As you can see here, I am blasting through this GR110. To compare, I've been doing around 115 with a God DH, which is kind of supposed to be one of the best solo speed farmers next season. And I think my setup here was also slightly unoptimized still. So it's pretty close to the God level and you can still do a bit better, and it's definitely very competitive with most other classes and most of the top speed farming builds. There's not really a reason to play Tempest Rush in groups though, because it kind of does everything on its own, like it CCs stuff, it pulls stuff, it has Taeguk, so you can't really buff it a lot with additive damage buffs and all that. So it's not a great group build, but it can maybe also fit in somewhere in the speed meta in some cases. The interesting part is for pushing that Sengoku Tempest Rush is usually better, at least in the past few seasons. It has always been a bit stronger because it has bigger damage multipliers, but because of the ethereals and the fact that you can get a flying dragon as an extra legendary power in a slot where usually you don't even have anything as a PoJ monk, usually you have Pixika or Azure Wrath or something like that in pushing, and now you just get like this extra flying dragon, which is massive, and that will actually make PoJ beat Sengoku for Season 24 in pushing. I have no doubt that PoJ is going to clear GR150 solo next season. It can definitely go all the way because the buff from the ethereals is massive, and at the very high end we're going to see some of those clears, I believe, especially with Monk being pretty hype, with a lot of people going very high Paragon on Monk. That will definitely happen. Aside from the ethereal and including the flying dragon, nothing has really changed for this setup anyway, so maybe you want to go for another resource cost reduction roll or something like that, because doubling your attack speed also means doubling the amount of resources you spend for your Tempest Rush. But you also have this effect from the Jade Talon that gives you spirit on crit, so it's not really such a big problem unless you're finding like a single target, and those single target fights are extremely quick anyway, even on a pushing tier on a Rift Guardian. So nothing really to worry about in that sense, and it's just getting so much better and so much stronger next season. I have a few kind of old Monk Tempest Rush guides from a few seasons ago, and I think that actually deserves some updating, so you can be sure to see stuff like that in the near future. I'm gonna go over the entire setups again, when to play lightning, when to play cold, how to do the rotations properly and all that, but in general nothing has really changed, so if you know the build already, then you're good. So this is what I wanted to share here. PoJ Monk is definitely a great alternative for Inner as Monk if you don't want to play the new Inner. If you start the new season and you're kind of like doubting if you'll like it, then you know that this is still there and it's still plus minus equally strong. So good times for Monk. It's gonna be a great season. I'm very excited to try Monk again myself with the new Inner and whatever other sets I might want to push next season, and hope that you're also gonna have a great time. So hope you like this video. See you guys next time.